Alright everybody, you know the drill. It is core review time once again. We got cores, we got reviews. They're going to go on this handy dandy tier list, and without any further ado, we're going to get into it. But if you want to be involved in a future episode, we're still on 2k24, go ahead, upload your cores to the hashtag breadstick. It's only 2k24 at the moment because it's the easiest way to make sure that everybody can still be involved. But without any further ado, let's get into it. So to kick off the reviews today, we've got none other than Ahmed Mohammed. Now, first impressions, I actually really like this look. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing morphing, right? I'm seeing real face morphing. And when you get that, you know, you're gonna get bonus points from me, right? I always say it ain't about the face texture, it's about, you know, do you pay just a little bit more attention to try and make your core look unique? And honestly, this is a very unique face morph, and with like the overall look and everything, it looks even better. So yeah, like if we have a look at this, granted the gear could be a little more unique. I want to see if that's like custom images or if that's just like an in-game thing. It is an in-game pair of trunks, but honestly, overall, I do like the look. Yeah, sure, you could say maybe custom gear, but I think with the coloring and stuff, it looks nice. It all blends in really well. I like the look, you know, using the face morph and like all of that. Like this looks really nice. I like the use of the piercings. I like the hairstyle. I like the fact that there's body hair. I like the look. I like the rings. So the rings on in ring. That's the real question. Like, is bro punching people with the rings? He is. Now, I would personally, this isn't going to like bring you down like score-wise or anything, but I would probably ditch the rings in the ring, just because, let's be real here, no self-respecting referee is going to let you do that. But honestly, this is a really solid first offering for this episode. Really good. So where does Ahmed Mohammed place in the tier list? Well, I think it's a really good first offering. Do we do it off rip? I think it's gotta be. Ahmed, my friend, welcome to the S tier. Next up for review, we have Axe Gunner. Now, first impressions, there are some talking points. Absolutely there are. So there has been a face texture used, and whilst a lot of the elements are good, I'm not gonna lie, the lips are amateur hour. Like, just straight up. Like, look at the line there. Like, they are not matched up at all, and I think that's a big thing. I mean, the bleed is fine, but it is quite visible, and there's two jaw lines here. That could be tightened up very easily. You know, just go ahead and just redo the morph. It's not that difficult, trust me. And yeah, the overall morph looks nice, but those small little elements, well, I say small, but like the lips are given like, I don't even know what's going on with these, to be honest. But, you know, tighten it up, it'll look a lot better, trust me. I'm gonna keep it real. The appearance is nice, right? Like, it's a unique look, kind of. Like, this is unique, but then I'm not the biggest fan of Viking gimmicks. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a group a while ago on one of my shows, MUW, called the Valhalla Sons, right? And they were sort of like a Viking metal group type deal, right? And I think when you're trying to do that and maybe like taking the Viking stuff and doing a little bit different with it, maybe going a little bit more unique with it, I think that's when you're going to get props. But when it's just Viking, like this screams like, I want to be in the Viking Raiders. Or the War Raiders, as they are known again, thank God. It's a fine core, I'm just not a fan of it. Like, this is cool, but again, it's just Viking gear, right? And I'm like, I want to see a little bit more uniqueness. I want to see someone take that Viking gimmick and make it their own, right? Add some flavor to it, add some uniqueness to it, because right now, like I said, it just feels very tropey. And again, it's a shame because with the beard and with the look and everything, this looks like a really good wrestler. And I think you could take elements of the Viking gimmick and you could make this such a unique looking core. But I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not. So where does Axe Gunner go on the tier list? I think technically it's relatively sound. Again, the face morph could be tweaked a little bit because it is a little bit all over the shop. But honestly, it's not the worst core I've ever seen. I would probably say a low B tier would be fair. So it's rapid fire review time, and we're going to kick things off with Adam Blade. Now, first impressions, it's kind of a shame that the game has sort of giving you that menu screen pose because I really want to see what the shirt says. I think the gear's fine. It's a little bit basic, and the tattoos could probably be blended in a little bit better, just from what I'm seeing. And I think the face could probably be morphed a little bit better. I would say this isn't my sort of vibe, so I would say probably a high C tier. So next up for review, we have Dawn Fox. Now, first impressions, holy is all I'm gonna say. This is insane work, right? And like genuinely crazy. I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. This core had stuff from the showcase, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna risk my main account. I'm downloading this on the main account because I have to give this a full review. Like this core is insanely, like, insane to me. So we're gonna go ahead, give it the review as we do. So the person that submitted this said that they actually have been like working on like their face morphing and whatnot, and this is an insanely good morph, man. Holy hell, this is good. What on earth is going on? Yeah, no, this morph is great. Like the bleed is fine on both screens. It's completely fine. The makeup is really good. I wonder if they did the thing with having just a base face texture and then blending a makeup version of it over. We'll have a look at that, but no, the face morph's great. Really good stuff. And then we'll get into the attire. Now, I'm a little scared. I'm always a little scared when you get cores of this detail, because I'm always like, there's going to be custom body textures on here, and that scares me a little bit, because I don't know if YouTube are going to allow me to review that in full details, but if there are, then you're going to see my face up close and personal as I talk about it. But the entrance gear is really nice, right? It's simple, but it works. I really like the boots, but I wonder, could you make them glitter? Oh, how did they make that? That's what I want to know. Oh my god, yo, the detail? Hold on. So for those of you that don't know, that 2K logo is typically used to help with transparency, right? To make things like skin colored, basically. Wow. the detail, bro, the detail. And now we got to get into the actual gear. So I'm scared. I'm scared. Hold on a minute. But now, like the hair dye's nice. The look's really good. The eyelashes work. You got a movable scar on it. I'm not sure what that's used for. I think it's to make it look less shiny, I think. Again, you'll have to forgive me. When it comes to making women's cores, like, yeah, I know a little bit, but like, Jesus Christ, there are some incredible creators out there who know way more than I do. And this shows, man. This shows. It's really good. It's really good. Okay, so now we're gonna have a look at the gear quickly. Super quickly. I know. I wanted to be able to show you the amount of detail, but unfortunately, I think YouTube are going to draw the line at the body texture. But the gear's really nice, and now I can actually cut back because I'm not looking at it. But like, look at the detail, man. Like, and this is someone who said that they weren't confident in showing their creations. Hell no, keep showing them, man. Like, keep putting your cores out there, because this is really good. It's really good. Like, keep working, keep going. This is really good work. I've been talking about this one for what feels like minutes at this point, but genuinely insanely good core. Yeah, I don't even need to. I don't even think we need to drag this on anymore. It's an S tier. Nothing more to say. Then we have James Ramirez, who is kind of like a throwback old school kind of guy. I like the face morph. I think the gear's really good, and if you are a throwback kind of dude, I feel like this is really good. I like it. It's a really good look. It's simple but effective. I'm not sure about the jacket choice if you've got the crown. I don't know. It gives kind of mixed messages a little bit, but it's still an overall solid core. I would say a low A tier if I had to give it a grade. Next up for review, we have Chuck Bradley. Now, first impressions, I like the look. So I know what face template's been used for this, but I can definitely see face morphing, obviously. Like, this is really nice work. The texture, that they've put over the top, so not an actual face texture, but like the in-game texture options. That works really well with this one. And has there been wrinkles added? That's what I want to figure out now. Have there been wrinkles? No. I feel like maybe adding some forehead wrinkles because it's on the texture. I'm just gonna like see what I would do, right? Obviously you don't have to do this, but like, you know, if you were to add like this and then just like blend it down just a little bit so it's more sort of like that, just adds a little bit more depth. But again, right, it's up to you, but this is still a really like a really good morph actually. And then gear wise, this cape is insane, and I actually really like it. I think this is really cool. I like the cape, I like the overall look. You've taken like the American hero thing and you've really turned it like on its head. I feel like a lot of people often when they do like American hero, they go sort of like, you know, patriot, you know, wrestling type dudes, you know, like a Kurt Angle type deal, right? But you've really kind of taken that and you've given it your own spin, and I do like the look actually, like especially in the context of like the promotions that I run. So like CEW is a very UK based promotion, and like Europe Pro is a very like obviously a European based promotion. A dude like this coming in would be like the biggest heel in existence because he's the American hero, right? Like, you know, could you imagine him doing what like Marshall Henry's doing and like going after the European title and holding that and whatnot? But like, this is a really nice core actually. I think this is really nice. It's simple but effective, and I think that's sometimes all you need to have a really good core. So where does Chuck Bradley go on the tier list? I honestly think that this is an A tier design. So next up for review, we have Colton Cross. Now, first impressions, it's an alright look. So there has been face morphing, but I can tell that this is old reliable. It's a solid morph. It's relatively unique, but I feel like all you've kind of done is enlarge in features and small and, you know, enlarge and shrink features that are just already present on old reliable, right? Like, it's an alright look, but it's still not as unique as I would like to see. And then gear wise, this is like the sort of look that screams indie dude, right? Like maybe someone who has been wrestling for like a few years, getting their first like indie reps in. This is sort of like quite simple gear. It's fine, but it doesn't scream anything like standoutish to me. And I think that is going to be something that will bring you down ever so slightly. I think the second gear is a little better, but it's still a little bit, you know, a little bit indie for my liking, right? Like I like these knee pads, and I feel like, I don't know, the knee pads are so detailed and everything else could be a little bit more, that I'm like, I'd really like to see more of what your character is, because right now you're going off of the fact that your last name is Cross, and that's just really kind of your whole look and your whole gimmick, which is fine, but it's nothing super standoutish. So where does Colton Cross go on the tier list? I think it's alright, but it's nothing super crazy. I'm probably going to say a high C tier. Next up, we have Kyle Evans. Now, this is like a pretty simple gear. It's all using in-game stuff, and I feel like whilst there might be a face texture, it looks a little bit too much like, oh, reliable for my liking. I think it's an alright look. It's nothing crazy. I would say a low B tier. And then we have Jack Walker. Now, first impressions, it's actually an interesting look, but I'm really intrigued to see where, like, you know, where the detail is, because there's a lot to this. So we have a face texture here, and that's actually got like a beard grown in. I feel like the bleed might let you down. We'll have to have a look at the beard in a second. And I do think that the lining up could be a little bit better. The nose is fine. It's just, I think, again, I think the tash is letting you down slightly. I think the mouth is morphed alright. There is a very noticeable skin bleed. I would probably suggest picking a different skin color for the rest of the body, just because right now it's not all blending. But apart from that, the morph is pretty decent. Have you used, because this is quite like an older look, have you used any blemishes and wrinkles? No. Okay, if you want to define them a little bit more, you should probably go ahead and chuck on some custom stuff like this. Obviously, just find the ones that work for you and just add them, because it will make the texture look so much better. Trust me. Right, I'm seeing a lot of tattoos. Now, I'm hoping, yeah, here we go. Okay, so these are all custom. So these are all like non-in-game ones, which is really nice. They're all blended in quite well. They all fit quite nicely. I feel like there's nothing where I'm being like, you could have changed the placement or something. I like the I like that tattoo there. Very much gives me, you know, shout outs to Wyndham type vibes right there. And I do think that with all of this, the bleed is fine, but again, it's just like that bit on the nose is a bit of a problem. Honestly, with like all of the hair and stuff, the skin color difference isn't too bad actually. So maybe I'm just being a hater. Maybe I'm just being a hater. I don't know. We'll see. But let's get into the gear, because I think the gear's pretty nice from what I saw. Yeah, like, it's just like a backyard indie guy, right? Like, live fast, die young. Like, this is someone you would see in a hardcore division. Probably doing relatively well. Probably a guy who is not afraid to use a couple light tubes here and there. So, honestly, I think this is a really solid design. Man, where would I improve? I think it's just touching up that small little bit on your face texture. I really do. Just that small little bit there. And I think you'd be on your way to having a really, really good core, because everything else is actually really good. It's really good. So where does Jack Walker go on the tier list? I think, honestly, because it's just a really small face texture thing that needs to be sorted, I would honestly give it a high A tier. So that was the core review. Thank you all for checking it out. And as always, if you want to get involved, we are still on 2k24. Add your cores to the hashtag breadstick, and whenever I look next, I will compile the list. Thank you all for tuning in. Core review videos are here, and if you've already seen all of them, YouTube really thinks you'll like this video, so go ahead and check that out as well. See ya!